Can the Defect beat Slay the Spire with All for One? Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome back. Today, the Defect makes history as our third recurrence in what might be one of the most requested challenges to date. The rules are simple. We are only allowed to play zero-cost cards, with two exceptions: status cards and one copy of All for One. All strikes, defends, and any other card that costs energy are not allowed. Now, you might be asking yourself, claw time? To which I'd reply, you are in for a treat. With 4 less than a dodecahedron of challenges behind us, this one is a lot harder than you might first think. But that won't stop us. Not today. So, sit back, get yourself comfortable, for it's time. Time to climb. Climb time! Before the claw becomes law, I'm giving away 2 more copies of Slay the Spire 2. Details at the end of the video. Today, we are given 2 choices. Enemies in the next 3 encounters have 1 HP or 7 max health for us. I checked the map for what might be one of the most questionable first acts I had seen. There are 2 potential free elites here too, so let's gamble. Welcoming us to the challenge were a couple of louses. Naturally, our lightning avoids the attacking louse, so I accept the 6 damage in return. We get 19 gold from the combat and a very valid card reward, Boot Sequence, giving us effectively a free anchor. Our first question mark event is the Winged Statue, allowing us to remove a strike for 7 HP. Another great event follows, with more of our health being exchanged for gold this time. Floor 4 wanted even more health from us, but I was feeling very lucky. You see, there are so many incredible relics, monumental, monolithic, run-changing relics that we could get. I reach inside once, twice, 3 times. You've got to be kidding me. Moving on, a surprise merchant greets us next, holding some very valuable offerings for us to ponder. Beam cell, purity, card removal, and a fairy in a bottle. Out of the options, purity held the most value, technically, potentially being a triple card removal for us. With the little we had left, I picked up the beam cell. Proceeding to the first rest site, our biggest priority is getting access to more cards, so choose to upgrade our zap, changing its cost to 0. Next, as we have 2 charges left of our lament, move to the merchant to simply admire his wares. Floor 8 has the Shining Light encounter. I usually make the greedy mistake of exchanging health for upgrades, but this time it was so clearly wrong that we do get dual cast online, so it was a good day to be greedy. Our first relic chest was next, holding both 25 gold and the Centennial Puzzle. What does the word Centennial mean, you might be wondering? Yeah. Floor 10 takes 1 more charge of our lament, giving us a fire potion and the card we had all been waiting for. Claw. Welcome to the Ascent. Next, we have the Dead Adventure event. Now, usually I'd be greedy here as well, for at least 1 click, but we only have 24 health, and checking the map, both an elite and enemy encounter are next. It just simply isn't worth it. We move forward into the first elite, and with our lament's last charge, gain the Sentry's spoils. 31 gold, bag of preparation, then the choice between Reboot and Steam Barrier. Reboot looks shiny, but with a lack of defending cards in this challenge, Steam Barrier is ultimately chosen. Moving into our next question mark event, we get to take on our first true combat encounter, the Slimes. Our opening hand has good options. I play Zap, Beam Cell, and both are defending cards. Their attacks get completely nullified. Turn 2, we draw our dual cast, and with both evokes hitting the medium slime, we're able to finish him off with our claw. We do take 5 damage from the small slime for defeating it, with only 19 health remaining. I pick up the 20 gold, skipping on the card rewards. The next enemy to challenge us was a blue slaver. I get to work exhausting our useless cards, then play our barrier and dual cast. Turn 2, I make a small mistake. I play our claw before applying the vulnerable with beam cell. After playing the rest of our hand, I stop to consider the fire potion. It would save us from the 12 incoming attack, but knowing how helpful it could be on the boss, I choose to save it, allowing him to bring us down to 6 HP. We play a defending turn next before finishing him off with our Claw Evoke combo. Reward-wise, we get a Flex Potion and holy stick me in a freezer because I can't handle this heat. We get 3 playable card choices: Claw, Fission, and Beam Cell. I want to add them all to our deck, but alas, only one can be chosen, and I don't think I'd be safe in my house if at least 2 or 3 claws didn't get acquired here. The final rest site saw to our most severe injuries, restoring us to 28 health, preparing us for the boss of Act 1. It was now time. Time for slime. Slime time! Our opening hand holds both claws and a Beam Cell, giving Flex Potion its most optimal usage. After playing them, I remove 2 cards with Purity and end our turn. This fight was not going to be easy. We could only zap in the interim here, bringing him down to 96 health. 26 more would be required to force his split. Dual Cast and Claw show next. This was the moment we saved our Fire Potion for. Drink and attack. The real battle now begins. 2 50 HP slimes, 16 damage coming our way. I apply our Beam Cell and claw the green one. We get brought down to 12 health. But something they didn't account for was our Millennium Puzzle. I boot Sequence and Barrier to avoid lethal damage, then zap and continue sending our claws into the green slime, forcing its split to be in evoke range. An incredibly fortuitous turn followed, with all the slimes debuffing. Dual Cast removed one of them, Beam Cell damaged the other. With our claw gaining its value, we safely remove the attacking slime before it could defeat us. Only one remains. We needed a strong hand next. No, just a claw would do. Yes! 17 damage with 3 more from Zap. It splits with 8 health, and you know what that means. Dual Cast ends their reign. Surviving with 7 HP is cutting it too close. We would have to be on the lookout for strong relics from this point forward. I pick up the 100 gold, and the card that would make our claws the heroes they were always meant to be. All for one. For the relics, we get 3 options: Slaver's Collar, Runic Dome, and Frozen Core, with energy being effectively obsolete for us, as well as Frozen Core giving us vital access to defense. The choice was clear. Act 2. The City. We need to remove cards and gain good relics fast here. I scroll through the map, identifying all the possible merchant routes. Take a breath, and enter our first encounter. Birds. One of the more lenient fights to start us off. A boot sequence, zap, and barrier to block the incoming attacks, clawing to finish the turn off. Next, I purify and dual cast, only taking 1 damage thanks to our newly acquired Frost Relic. With our puzzle activating, we were afforded an incredible hand. I send our first Beam Claw combo into the Backbird, then All for One to repeat it and knock down the middle one. I defend their next attack, finish them off shortly after. We pick up 14 gold and have to pass on the card rewards. A merchant greets us next and has nothing of real value. Oddly smooth stone and war paints just weren't worth the gold. No cards either. At the very least, we remove a strike and pick up a strength potion to help assist with the long encounters. Floor 20 has a lone chosen. We zap, boot, sell, claw, then repeat them all again to deal 39 damage and keep us safe in the meantime. The next couple of turns, we continue stacking our claw, take 6 damage, and then finish her off after that. 13 gold, and a fairy in a bottle gets awarded to us. Man, it's been a while since we've had a fairy by our side, and the rewards didn't stop there. An upgraded claw, or go for the eyes? But which one should we take? Go for the eyes is more than likely the best choice here, with weak being so valuable. Okay, I hear you, an upgraded claw it is. The next enemies to feel our wrath were 3 cultists. They wanted us to hear about their lord and savior. We showed them ours, though we did take 16 damage in retaliation. They drop 12 gold and an upgraded chill, which marked yet another fine addition to our deck. Our first question mark event of the act was the Augmenter. Do you see what I see? 0 cost, 3 strength. Give me a 30 kilogram mop because we're about to get jaxed. Next, we remove a strike for 75 gold, spice up our stimulation sensation, then get challenged to a very fair duel. We naturally decide to fight. A beautiful turn 1. chill, zap, claw, and again, taking Pointy down to 8 health and fully defending against his attack. The following turn, there was no getting away from the damage. I jaxed and proc our puzzle. No luck. I beam cell bear, defeat Pointy, and use our last claw. We take 17 damage in return and get weakened. Our next hand, not good. Not good at all. Dual cast gives us 10 block. Steam barrier adds another 4. I claw bear again, but no use. He has 2 health remaining. This small oversight would cost us another 19 health. Oh, I mean, all part of the plan. Romeo falls in line with his friends shortly after. We don the red mask and skip the card rewards. Floor 26 holds a chest inside of a chest, and floor 27 holds a duo of shapes. I fill our frost orbs after I play Zap, then prioritize the sentry. Next, we find a very strong interaction between our Jax and Centennial puzzle. The strike and defend get exhausted, which signaled the activation of our claw magic. 1, 2, reload, 3, 4, beam, and 5. Zap evokes the lightning, Steam Barrier defends the attack. The sphere disappears the following turn. We pick up 15 gold, Speed Potion, and although these cards look like they cost 1, Recursion Upgraded reduces to 0, so it gets picked up. Now, although we were finding good strides in our deck, our health was still taking a beating. We still had 2 bosses to get through as well. And why are we still outside of the merchant? Where has the music gone? The rise, the emotion, the excitement. I couldn't believe who we were about to see. Just when we needed him most, it was none other than Lee's Waffle. And with our current health at 28, we just got given an effective extra life. Oh man, it's good to have you back, Lee. Let's lock in. It was time for the Centaurian and his Necro Dancer. We were slightly limited to what we could do on turn 1 and 2, at the very least defending his attack and playing a couple of claws. The Mystic heals the damage we dealt back up before it was our 3rd turn. Jax and Puzzle play together while our claws get sent into the night. We take 1 damage before it was truly time to see our deck shine. Beam Cell, Zap, and all for one. Claw, claw! Reward-wise, we pick up 18 gold and not just another beam cell, but an upgraded one. This applies to vulnerable instead of the usual 1. Next was the vampire event. Unfortunately, bites cost 1, so we politely decline their enticing offer. I keep our confidence in check, somewhat, choosing the normal encounter over the elite. Snake Plant, one of the hardest enemies for our deck. I chill, learn my lesson with which claw to play first, then all for one to do it again. The plant sends his debuffs before preparing the 777 swing. I Purity R2 defense, Beam Cell for vulnerable, and Dual Cast to mitigate as much as we possibly can. Another 21 damage was incoming next. No defense this time around. Could we defeat it with this hand? Even with Jax, vulnerable, and 2 claws, wasn't even close. I hold off on using Zap for an extra 2 defense, but 15 damage gets through. We put this weed out of commission the following turn. The one potion I'd been hoping to acquire shows itself. Liquid Memories. This allows us to go through our discard pile to get back a card to our hand. I switch it with our speed potion. Then for the cards, we finally get an ability to apply weak ourselves. The final rest site of the act was next. After checking on our health, I decide to upgrade our recursion. This will allow it to now be played and stop it from being a dead card. It was now time for the boss of Act 2, the Collector. This would no doubt be a long, grueling encounter. I kick things off with our Strength Potion, Beam Cell, Claw, and Zap being played next. I make a small misplay on just exhausting the 1 defend with Purity rather than trying for synergy with All for One. Turn 2, the Collector's minions enter the battlefield. 32 damage aiming straight at us. I Steam Barrier, Dual Cast, and Claw before playing our All for One. I then Zap, Dual Cast, and carefully allocate the Claw damage, defeating one of the Torch Heads in the process. I Barrier one more time to fully mitigate their attacks. Turn 3, I see our puzzle is still intact, jaxing us up to draw 3, and after playing our 0-cost cards, I drink our memories. This brings us back our All for One. I play our dual cast and zap, followed by the usual attacks. The boss and his minion then manage to get through 1 damage. We follow up by sending another claw to the boss before he declares us his. Recursion and evocation lead our charge to the Torchhead's demise. Beam Cell and a 30 damage claw weren't quite enough, but after his big attack, we send ours, finishing the boss of Act 2. With how much our health was yo-yoing, it felt as if this run's success could end at a moment's notice. 101 gold gets picked up, and no card reward could be obtained. For the relics, it was a choice between Tiny House, Pandora's Box, and the Smithing Hammer. Pandora's had such a low chance of finding playable cards, didn't need the energy from the Smithing Hammer, so for the first time on the channel, pick up the Tiny House. All for One gets upgraded, 50 gold gets pocketed, and a focus potion gets equipped. I definitely didn't forget about the extra card here. Moving on to Act 3, the Beyond. This was where danger would be most prevalent. I scout the map with ambitions for our tiny chest, merchants for relics, and safe passage where possible. Greeting us to the act was the Orb Walker. I chill, then boot sequence, then double claw twice, ending our turn with a lot more block than was necessary. Turn 2 wasn't good. We had no blocking cards, 18 damage was incoming. I didn't want to lose so much health this early on. I use our focus potion, double beam cell and recursion the frost, managing to fully defend his 18 attack. A couple more turns go by. We defend his attacks, purify the burns, and then send him to the Shadow Realm. Reward-wise, an interesting potion gets picked up, and for the cards, I chose to add another Steam Barrier. Our first question mark event of the act had 2 Orb Walkers challenge us in exchange for a rare relic. I checked our deck, and with confidence surging, we take them on. I start by sending everything into the back orb, followed up with our boot sequence, reducing most of the incoming damage to 2, proccing our puzzle. The following turn, we have 36 damage coming our way. But with All for One, we would at least do some serious damage in return. The first set of zeros get played, and back they come. Was there a world where we could take down the back orb? I play every single card I could precisely, bringing it down to 6 HP. And thanks to my degree in nuclear physiology, I knew that lightning could indeed strike the same place twice. Phew. We take 6 damage from the front one's next attack, another 4 after that, for finally we defeat it. Rewards-wise, we get 3 solid additions: Unseizing Top, Gambler's Brew, and a Recycle. If we weren't exhausting our defense and strikes already, we surely would be now. Floor 37 holds the shapes. The Exploder gets removed from the fight early on, thanks to our Jack's puzzle combo. The Repulsor goes down shortly after that, and we take our sweet time waiting for the right opportunity to remove the Spiker. We get 15 gold and a very interesting card reward. You might look at these and think there's no choice here, but if we upgrade the White Noise, it becomes free. Not only that, but the power it randomly generates will also cost 0. Was it a logical choice? Maybe not, but it was fun. Our next battle encounter was against the Darklings. I'm gonna speed this fight up and showcase our first Unseizing Top interaction. With Recycle and Purity, we could almost get this down to an infinity loop. A very satisfying way to defeat these enemies. And if you think that this is the deck's final form, fasten your seatbelts. They drop no rewards to note. We swing by the merchants next, and is that the membership card I see? Don't mind if we do. Both the fish and the flower weren't useful to us, so I end on removing a strike for 50 gold, is what I would have said. But Sadistic Nature. With our weak and vulnerable application, plus All for One, $signs of damage were now being printed in my mind. It would wipe our remaining gold out, I know, but heck, let's do it. Floor 40 held even more shapes for us to battle through. The front 2 weren't much of an issue, but the Sphere, with a mix of bad hands at the wrong times, we get hit again and again and again before we are finally afforded the opportunity to defeat it, losing 13 health from his attacks alone. Card rewards, we get an upgraded Go for the Eyes. More weak, more debuffs, more damage. The upcoming rest site allowed us to upgrade our White Noise, now making it a playable card. At this point, I realised we had no way of avoiding the upcoming elites, so I chose what I hoped would be the safest of the 3 paths. It starts off well, with us upgrading our Sadistic nature, increasing its damage by 2. The guaranteed relic chest followed next, where we acquire 7 more max HP with the strawberry. Now for a battle. 3 beefed up jawworms all wanting to take a bite. We reduce the incoming damage to 17 with our red mask, and do my eyes deceive me, or is that a full hand of 0 cost cards? I play our White Noise and, of all the powers, hello world, really? I play out our hand, unseizing procs, drawing into an awful one, so naturally I play our whole hand again, and you get the drift. Next turn, I play our Sadistic nature into Jax to proc 3 more cards before sending our attacks into the front one. We unfortunately do take 4 damage here, but with another full hand of 0 cost cards, it marks the Snappy Boys' defeat and our victory. Outside of the 11 gold, they hold no further rewards. Reminding us of the elite that's coming, the rest site then stitched us up to 73 health. Guaranteed relic chest follows thanks to our tiny little chest, and an uncommon too. Meat on the bone. Technically, we do have 1 fight coming up, so maybe there's value. Next was the elite, Nemesis. To start the fight off, she gets weakened by our red mask. Sadistic nature, chill, barrier, Jax, eyes, zap, and once more, fully defending us from the incoming attacks. Intangible and burns next, before White Noise. And unlike last time, we get something useful. Buffer. Let's go. I then play our hand out, bringing her down to 97. Checking the draw pile, I realised Purity here would be useless, as our Unceasing Top would fail at defend. FYI, Buffer blocked 1 damage. Intangible and 18 damage aims next. Our hand, at the very least, we weaken her back to 12 and continue increasing our claw damage. 10 gets through. Now the 33 hits. We can beat her. Cell, eyes, zap, barrier, and of all the cards that we could have drawn, we get All for One, enabling us to take Nemesis down. 31 gold and really, a more bank. Love it. Gambler's Brew is a complete no-brainer here. I switch out our Power Potion, giving us yet another unceasing opportunity. Card-wise, I pick up the offered Beam Cell. The final question mark event was the Sensory Stone. It offers us 3 colourless cards for 10 HP. And with the sheer amount of 0 cost colourless cards in the game, I didn't hold back. Our first choice was another Sadistic nature? Sign me up. Choice number 2 offered us 3 choices, with Deep Breath being a consideration for now. Our final card offering what? Panache? This card is absolutely insane for us, not only giving us access to the AoE damage we needed, but we could easily proc multiple Panaches every turn. I pick it up. I also go back for the Deep Breath. I'm not sure if this was the right decision. One last rest site, one final recovery. It was now time for the boss of Act 3, the donuts. Our opening hand was full of possibilities. I start things off with White Noise. It gives us Defragment, solid for increasing our defense. Next was Chill, Sadistic Nature, Boot, Eyes, Cell, Claw, Cell, Barrier, Beam, discard, dual cast, discard again, Purity, Claw, Deep Breath, Barrier, dual cast, Recursion, and finally a defend to stop the turn off. I don't know what was funnier, the fact we just played 19 cards or the fact Decker only lost 55 health. Turn 2. We play yet another Sadistic Nature, Jax ourselves up, and continue with our Claw scaling. Playing this Beam Cell now does an additional 12 damage thanks to our power. All for One brings everything back. Wow. Another Jax, and you get the idea. Claw, dual cast, Beam Cell, Recursion, Beam again, Breath, and finally, Defend. They couldn't get through our defense, with Decker fading away the following turn. Next, Donu had 32 prepared for us. We dual cast play both our beams, doing 27 damage each, and with only 9 damage coming through to us, victory was all but assured. I play our all for one more time before finishing the challenge with one last claw. Thank you so much for watching the video. This was one of the most fun challenges I have done to date. Now, for the giveaway, I am going to be giving away 2 more copies of Slay the Spire 2 for its release, as the channel has and continues to grow beyond what I thought was possible. Thank you, everyone. The rules are simple. Comment on this video. That's it. As usual, you don't need to like, share, or subscribe to the channel. Just leave a comment below. The second copy will be given to a random member, as a small thank you for supporting me. You guys should also have some fun new emojis to play with. Enjoy. Both winners will be announced in July 19th's video. It's getting hotter outside, so, as always, remember, stay hydrated.